Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the video. We are long overdue for an update on the large U-shaped Paludarium. It was back in September the last time I did an update for this. And I've done an awful lot of work on that, and you're going to get to see it at the end of the video. But I want to show you this first. This is one of the things I had to do to get this job to look the way I wanted it to. Believe it or not, the day before I had put together one of these. This is going to be the last panel, the front panel for the canopy. And I put one together, and I was off just a little bit on the measurement for one of the dimensions, so not a big deal, except that this is at eye level. So to me it was very glaring, and I definitely wanted to fix it. The other thing is, because I brought that in and had it in place and had them have a look at it, if you'll notice in the upper right hand corner of the shot here, that is a drawer I'm putting together for the other channel, and that is the largest hole I can cut. That is a 2.5 inch hole that I cut with the hole saw, and they were having a little bit of difficulty getting their hand in there because that's the access for feeding the fish. And they asked me if I can make a bigger one, and I said, well, I don't have any larger hole saws. Would you mind it being rectangular? And they said, well, they didn't mind at all, so that's actually quite good. Now, there are lots of ways of cutting a rectangular hole in something like this. My usual method, if it's not terribly important for aesthetics, is to drill 4 holes in the corners and then use a jigsaw to cut out the straight lines. And it's fine, but it is very difficult to get it perfectly straight. Now, obviously, a mill is designed to do exactly that, and I have actually never used an end mill and the mill itself to do something like this, not on wood. And as you can see, it's pushing a little bit of the veneer because this is plywood, right? So the hardwood aspect of it is just a veneer on the top, and it's not quite cutting through it. It's mostly just pushing it aside. It is also trimming it at the same time, so in the end it's perfectly fine. But the first pass I was a little concerned that this might end up looking kind of ugly. In the end, it is a perfect rectangle. I couldn't have done it better. It took some sanding, of course, because well, people are going to be putting their hands in here, so you don't want any splinters or any rough edges or anything along those lines. So this is a test pass, and as I said, it's perfectly fine. It worked out well. I'm just going to pull off the little bits of the veneer that got pushed over, and then I'm going to take the rest of it all in one go. It's only 1/4 inch. It's not a big deal. I could do 1/4 inch on this mill in most metals, so this is perfectly fine. Well, most metals in the sense of like aluminum and brass, the stuff I usually work with. So there you go. This is going to be quite straightforward from this point on. I'm going to put the rest of the bracket on, put on the corner moldings, I'm going to glue them in place, and all in all, the actual work for this is only about half hour, 45 minutes. So it wasn't really that much of a setback having to redo this, except of course in materials. But I will be able to use the materials from the other one and obviously make something out of it, so that'll be fine too. So the Paludarium itself is really coming along. The rest of the gravel's all in. I have a lot of plants in there. There's still a bunch more stuff I'll mention as it comes up that I want to do, but all the filtration systems in. I have currently in there about 20 fish, which is really underpopulated, but that's fine too. Like I said, there's a lot more that needs to come to this, but I wanted to make sure I got all the hardware done, all the canopies, all the different bits and pieces for everything. So at this point, it's all done, except for one thing, which is they put a mural, you'll see it at the end of this, on the front panel, and they're only going to do a mural for the front one. They're going to paint everything else. So there's a couple pieces that are still loose because they have to be painted and then put back together. But that's about all it's done, needs to be done, I should say, for what's left. So there you go. That's very straightforward to do that. I'm just going to, off camera, I'm going to sand this, and I'll show you what it looks like. And there you go. It turns out lovely. It's parallel to all the edges, and it's nice and even. There aren't any sharp edges. I actually don't mind doing it this way. I think next time I might use a 1/8 end mill instead of a 1/4 inch, but other than that, So this is the mural they put on, and I really like it. It's lovely. A father of one of the workers here did the mural, but he didn't want to do all the sides. And there's the front panel I put together. It needs to be painted, of course, and stuff like that, but as you can see, the height for the access for feeding is good. I had them test it out, and that's perfectly fine. This end here is the one that needs the most work. There's stuff that needs to be done in there, lots of wood and rock and water features, and I still yet to finish this section here, which is the first part I did. It's coming along quite nicely, but there's still a lot more to do to bring that up higher. There's a lot of material that needs to be filled in the upper sections of this, and that's what's coming next. And you can see there's a little bit of gap right on the panel there. That's because it has to be left loose at the moment so that all this stuff can be taken apart and painted. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.